What's up, everybody? Today we're going to talk about destructive lineups. This is a lineup that you have that can help take down the wall of a city faster. So if you're interested in that, stick around. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you're notified when I come out with the next video with tips from the last fortress. So let's just jump into it. First off, I want to explain for the people that don't know why you would need a destructive lineup. Let me show you. A destructive lineup is important when you're taking a city, because when you first go to take a city, just quick basic information for you, when you first go to take a city, you're going to hit rally, and you're going to go with all your teammates, and you guys are going to get in a car together, and you're going to take down this garrison. Once you hit the garrison for the first time, once anybody touches it, it starts a 30-minute timer. Now, you have to take down this garrison and this wall in 30 minutes. The garrison, you're going to want your best lineup, your strongest heroes on. The wall is going to be a different lineup if you're doing it right. You need your destructive heroes. There are 4 specific heroes that are going to add destructive might to your lineup, and those heroes are going to make it so that wall gets knocked down faster. And another thing is there's fuel. You have 15 fuels when you hit a city. So if you're throwing all 3 of your cars at this city and you don't have a destructive lineup on any of them, you're wasting fuel. My one destructive lineup car, it takes place of 2 other cars, basically. That's how much power it has in the lineup, so I want to show you that. Just looking at this number real quick, destructive might is 320. If you look at my 2 other cars, my destructive might on this car is 178. My destructive might on this car is 142. So both of these cars together is what it would take to be close to this car right here. So that just gives you an idea of why it's important to have these specific heroes in this specific, like in a car like this. So the specific heroes that you need are Patrick, Coleman, Betty, and Winston. I've been rolling with her this entire time. I think it's Alyssa. I've been rolling with her this whole time just because she has a siege bonus, but the siege bonus doesn't actually help you on a destructive lineup. I don't need her on this lineup because she has like siege defense, and the thing is, I'm not getting hit whenever the garrison's down. I'm not getting hit anymore. So it doesn't matter if your heroes here, these 4, are a level 1 or a level 100. It's going to be the same exact destructive might here because they're not actually doing any damage to the people, and they're not taking any damage. They're just hitting the wall with that number. That's the only thing that matters. So how do you get that number up? You need these 4 heroes, and they have to be, their quality needs to be ascended to orange. And that's because it unlocks their 3rd skill. So let me show you what I mean by that on both of those. For one, how do you upgrade somebody to orange? You come over to your satellite nexus and hit ascend, and you're going to be picking the person and ascending them, but here, if you didn't see, that's this exclamation point. Click on it, and you get the ladder of how to ascend people. You have your greens to get a blue, blues to get a purple, purples to get orange. The thing I want you guys to pay attention to on this screen that would help you out a lot is the blues. See how there's no faces here? It's because if they're in the same faction, you can mix and match heroes, and that's where you're going to gain leverage to be able to make an orange hero faster. So you'll get 3 green heroes to make a blue, and it doesn't matter which blue heroes you have. As long as you have 1 of the person that you need, you can put 2 other blue heroes and mix and match them in here and still ascend it to a purple. And you just have to do that twice to get the orange. That's all you have to do. You don't need to go all the way down here. There's a lot more upgrading you can do. A lot longer does it take. Sound like Yoda. A lot longer does it take. But that's what you have to do to ascend them up there. You can hit the quick ascend button here for green and purple if they're green and purple right here. If they're blue right here, never hit that button. You're wasting all your shards. So don't hit that button. Manually do the blues, because as you can see, you can mix and match, but this game doesn't know what I'm going for. So it's going to mix and match whatever will build a person here the best, but it doesn't know which hero you need. So definitely do the blues on your own. Okay, now as far as unlocking their skill goes, if you go to your heroes, and if you don't have the heroes yet, like if you have them, just click on them here. But if you don't have them, you can go up here to the, compendium, click on it, and then find the heroes in here. Like if you're looking for Coleman, he's going to be right here. And you can see his third skill is Destructive Might. So all of those heroes on their third skill, you're going to see Destructive Might, and that only will unlock once you make them orange. So prior to them being orange, even if you put these heroes on a lineup, they're not giving you additional Destruction Might. It's not going to make a difference. So you might as well just stick with your regular lineup until you get them orange. Once they're orange, though, you can switch them out, and it will give you 20, 24, 28, 32, up to 40% or 40 points more might. Not percent, points. If you get Pearson, which I'll talk to you in a minute, that's a percentage. So let me show you the other heroes and that they all have that same thing real quick. If you go to Betty, she's a Vindicator, take her third skill, unlocked with orange, you have the same skill, same Destructive Might. Same thing on the Watchers with Patrick, Destructive Might, and Winston, Destructive Might. They are the only 4 heroes that have this, so that's why you need these specific heroes in your lineup. Again, it's not crazy hard to get them. You should be getting them more in polls, because actually if you take a look here, wrong button, if you take a look where I'm going to show you, you can actually see the rarity of these heroes. So go to Recruit, and under my picture there's a little exclamation point. Click on that. It'll show you the rarity of these heroes. So these guys are like hella rare. They're hard to get. But if you come down to the bottom here, you got Patrick and Winston. They're not that hard to get. You're going to be pulling those cards all the time. Betty and Coleman aren't that hard to get compared to what these guys would be. So they're relatively easy compared to heroes that they could have given us. So it's not horrible. Again, you're kind of at the mercy of pulling the cards. So it's what you end up getting, but you have to get them to orange. So moving on from that, now you know who the 4 heroes are that you need. There's a 5th spot, right? And in that 5th spot, like I said, originally I was going with essentially a healer, but it's not doing me any good. And on my last YouTube video, there's somebody left a comment and they said actually go with somebody that is a speed hero. It's going to speed up the car going back and forth, which is going to help out a lot because you can hit the city more before that clock runs out. So for speed heroes, we're going to be looking at, in the Vindicators, we got Kate. She's got traveling speed. You have, let me think, Minutemen. You have Doris. She has traveling speed. And the last one that you have is going to be Duncan. He's got traveling speed. So those are your 3 that you can add for traveling speed. You got Kate, Doris, and Duncan. They give you traveling speed like to the actual places. There's a lot of other people that give you gathering speed. You don't want that. You want traveling speed. It's going to get you to and from faster. Like I said, if you're using all 3 of your cars, you're just wasting fuel. Because I've gotten like top destruction on taking a city with just sending the 1 car in when there was other teammates that were sending 3 cars in. It's because they're sending all these cars in, they run out of fuel, and I'm just sending my 1 car in. We end up taking the city regardless, but I get the bonus because I had more destructive power. So definitely stick with the 1 car, unless it's like an emergency and you have to actually take that city out, just send everything you got at it because you're in the last minute or something, fine. If you're in an emergency, sure, but that doesn't happen a lot, and it won't happen if you guys are all doing this, because everybody's destruction might's going to be big enough that you're going to knock the city out in no time. Next up, we have Pearson. Pearson is a hero, and I'll show you here. Here's Pearson. I'll show you in this so that you know where to look if you don't have him. So Pearson is this guy, and what he does is he adds destructive might percentage bonuses. So instead of just getting 24 points, you're getting a percentage on your destructive might added to it. So that's how my destructive might jumped from where it was at before, where it was 178 or something, all the way to 320. He bumps it up another 20% because I have him upgraded. I actually think I have him upgraded to the 4th. Let me take a look. I don't have him upgraded all the way, and I'm at 320. Yeah, so here's my Pearson. I'm level 4, and I'm at 320 for my destructive might. So I can still put him up another level, and I can still put Coleman's 3rd skill up another level. So I have 2 more things that I can level up, and I'm already at 320. So this is definitely a way to set up your lineup so that you get the most destructive power. Couple other things I want to show you guys real quick. your car's level makes a difference. So in your car's level, if you go to this exclamation point, you'll see the number of troops that you gotta have in the car. And once you hit level 20, you get 100 troops per hero in the car. So when you look at your cars, you'll see I have 500. So there's 100 troops per hero in the car. And with that, I get the 320 because they're all destructive heroes. But let's look at a car that's not destructive heroes. None of these guys are destructive heroes. I have 500 and I have 178. Okay, so my next car, if none of them are destructive heroes either, then it should be a relatively close number, right? But it's actually only 142, and it's because I only have 400 people in this car. I haven't upgraded it as much as the other ones. So your troop count in your cars make a difference because there's not as much power to those cars. So upgrade your car to at least level 20 if you can to get the most power out of your lineups. And let's see, there's another thing that I came across recently. And this kind of goes hand in hand with people saying if you add a third watcher, you get like an in-faction bonus for destruction. I had a YouTube comment that said that wasn't a thing. I've had a couple other people that tell me adding a third watcher doesn't give you destructive bonuses. But I found this in the research, so I would just want to show it to you guys so that you guys are on the same page. If I go to research and go to Faction Enhancement, and come over here to the end, there's something called Common Hatred. If you click on that, it actually says extra destructive might bonus in faction bonus. I think when you unlock this, you actually get that additional bonus for having that third watcher. I've asked on the world chat, I've gotten the information that it's an additional 10% destructive might, but they didn't confirm that it was due to having the third person in the faction on the team. So if you know about that, just leave it in the comments so that we can get some clarification on it, and I'll also put it in the description once I find out about that for you guys. But just for the sake of this video, know that this research is out there for you, and by adding it, you'll get increased destruction might. Alright guys, the next thing I want to show you is this little plus button right here. If you click on it, you actually have destruction bonus. So you can buy, like with real money, not diamonds, but you can buy this destructive bonus. I haven't done it. I haven't needed to because the way this is laid out with my lineups is I have, most of the time, I have more destructive might than the people on my team. So there are a few people that have like 328 or 324, but they're not that much higher. So this is going to give you the layout that you need to really not have to spend any more money on anything except for Pearson. And he gives you a multi-worker construction. So that's really the reason most people buy him anyway, because you can put a bunch of workers on one construction and speed that up like hella fast. So there's that. But this is your layout. And just to summarize, and then I'm going to show you how to flip between lineups real fast so you can take the city quicker. You need Patrick, Coleman, Betty, Winston. I'm adding Duncan because he's orange. You can also add Doris or Kate. They're going to give you speed bonuses. The rest of these guys give you your destruction bonus. They all need to be orange because that's going to unlock their third skill, and that's what you're going to need for destruction on these guys, for speed on this one. And once you get that skill unlocked, you want to level it up to a level 5. That's the highest that it can go. Pearson, I believe right when you buy him, you got the destruction. You don't need to upgrade him any for that. You just have that skill unlocked and you can upgrade that particular skill. Now you can do research for Common Hatred to get the in-faction bonus. Now, last thing, and this is going to help you switch between your lineups. As you can see with mine, I can switch between my main lineup and my secondary lineup just by clicking a button. I don't have to go through and click each person off of here, right? Just click the button and they're done. So the way to do that, I'm going to show you on this lineup here. So if you guys actually haven't done a lineup yet, you're not going to have anything right here, which is fine. I'm just going to show you how to build that lineup on here. So what you're going to need is Betty. You're going to need Patrick. We do need him. We're going to throw the front guys on first. And yeah, we don't want him going there. We want Duncan. And then we're going to come back up here to Winston. That way you got like the blocker guys in front, the shooters in the back. So, and that's just regular lineup building. Honestly, it's a destruction crew. I don't think it makes a difference because, again, you're not hitting anybody. But here's your lineup, right? You can add troops to them, and you hit adjust lineup and replace current lineup. You won't have these here if this is your first time doing it, so just hit that button. Replace current lineup. Then you can change the name of it. This name is Destruction. I can put whatever I want and change the icon to whatever I want. Okay? And now you have your lineup. So you can switch between the last lineup that you had and this lineup. You just make your lineups you're going to want to make are like your attack lineup and your destruction lineup. Some people have a third lineup, but those are mainly the only two that I use because you have 3 cars anyway. So, and you can see if you have a hero that's on a different lineup, that's what it'll say. Some heroes are occupied, so you got to go pull them off the line to fill your other lineup. Just so you know, if that's happening, you're like, where the hell did my hero go? That's what happens. One other thing, so you don't lose your freaking mind like I was doing when I first did this. But if you hit this button here, which seems like you can edit the name, right? And change it to whatever you want to. Change the icon. Seems like it's changed. It's actually not. It's a trick. Use change over, change back. It never changed. You can't use this button for it, and you'll go insane trying to make that work. I know. I did it. So, always click the adjust lineup button and adjust it from here. Rename it from here to whatever you want to rename it to. Destruction, cap lock's on for some reason, but whatever. So my destruction lineup, boom. Now it's changed for real. So if I change it here and come back, it stays. So don't use that button, use this button. That's how you make lineups. Those are the heroes that you're going to need. You're going to need a speed hero on there, and you're going to need these 4, Coleman, Patrick, Winston, Betty. Again, this is how you need to set everything up. If you have any questions, leave it in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe and share this video with your team, and that way everybody's on the same page. If you subscribe, you'll be notified when I come out with another video with tips like this. So hopefully this helps you guys out and clarified things, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.